If you're listening on podcast, be sure to tune in to our YouTube channel on YouTube at Wild and Weird WV.
Welcome to Wild and Weird Radio, a Wild and Weird West Virginia podcast. Welcome back to Wild and Weird Radio, everybody, and Happy New Year. Hope you guys have all had a fantastic week.
Happy. I'm happy. Are you happy?
Oh, yeah. I'm happy.
I am so happy. I can't tell you. I had such a happy New Year. Brandon's here. Brandon, did you have a Happy New Year?
Oh, yeah.
God, I was in
sounds
bed
like
moments after midnight.
Okay, so I wasn't. And I managed to stay up till Central Time, and by that point, the tequila had kicked in. I was done at that point. But I did get to see Green Day, playing over there, and watching them for a little bit. That was fun. Brandon.
Brandon.
I passed out like 11 o'clock. We weren't even awake when midnight hit. So.
Dang it, Brandon. That's not how you do it. You got to pace yourself.
Well, guys, I hope you have all had a fantastic few days here leading into the new year. It is officially 2024, and this is the first broadcast for 2024. Thank you, guys, every one of you all for listening.
Who are they, Joe?
What is it?
Who are they? Who are we thanking?
All of the folks who tune in, week out, all of our night shift folks, all of the folks who listen over on audio and jump over on the YouTube side and hang out with us over there. You guys are amazing. We appreciate each and every one of you.
And that list keeps growing for those supporters, by the way. And I want to talk about this for just a second. We had talked about this. Me and you talked about this a while back. We were offered the chance to do memberships and whatnot on the channel. And I was like, we both were like, we really don't ever want to have to do that. And just amazingly, we don't have to do that because there's so many people who have just started donating to keep this show free, like you said, for all time. And we'll start it right here with the role. Executive producer, Adam Good, Theresa of Theresa's Haunted Histories of the Tri-State, Dewey Edwards, Spooky Appalachia, Larry Host, Guitars and Chains Craig, Travis Aurednik over there to Deep End Antiques, Geoffrey Steele, Russ Bailey, Chris Coots, Adulting Axolotl, Ada Cox, Nancy White, Scott Holbrook, BigfootLittlefoot, Tommy Swiger, Terri Summerfield, Sarah Ramsey, Julie Bug, Finding the Trackway, L.W. Marshall, Donna Hough, and Angie Breeden. That list just keeps getting longer and longer and longer every show. But thanks to those guys, this show is free. So what we're saying is we will not have to do any kind of memberships thanks to the incredible people who support this show. And that it blows my mind, first of all, that you guys come over every Thursday and Friday. Thursdays for the lives and Fridays. It's a full house in here as we just debut these actual podcast episodes. And it's just an incredible thing. And we thank you. Absolutely thank you.
You guys are awesome. And we look forward to every Thursday on the live with you guys. It's an absolute blast. So if you guys who are listening out there in audio land have not checked out one of the lives yet, highly suggest it. You'd have a great time. It's 8 p.m. Eastern every week. And
every Thursday.
It's a great time.
Every Thursday. And then you can join us at 8 p.m. every Friday for the live premiere of this recorded podcast like you're listening to right now. Yeah. Anyway.
And there's a lot of stuff that we throw into the video segment that you guys don't get on the audio because, it's just stuff that's impractical. We can put it down in the show notes, but we can't just broadcast things visually to you.
Well, speaking of which, let's talk about the first hour of what happened last week real quick. On the live, because we had Jimmy come on.
Yep.
And he had some incredible video of, so Jimmy's been having these sightings near his place. And he like a very good investigator he tried every way he could to figure out what's going on. He tried to debunk it himself. He reached out to us. We gave him some advice, what to look for and whatnot, and told him try to catch it on video. And about 3-4 days later, he did. We caught it on video. And yeah, it's grainy, just like most, UFO videos are, but there's something there. And there's a flash pattern that's not a conventional strobe, right?
Right.
And we had that over there on the first hour of the live last Thursday. So, you can go over there and check that out. But that's the kind of stuff that we do. And then we'll do some analysis, real-time analysis of that while people are, over there giving advice and sending comments. And it's just very positive. It's a very good thing to do. Helps people realize, you are seeing things. It's okay. You're normal. Trust me. This is there's too many of you that's experiencing stuff at this point for anyone to tell you you're not.
And guys, if you've had a sighting that you would like to report, you can always head over to wildandweirdwv.com. Click on the report a sighting tab and then fill out the questionnaire. Send that over. We'll be in touch shortly after.
Yeah.
Proof in the pudding. Last week's first hour of the episode.
Bingo. Exactly. So let's say we do something we haven't did for a while.
Oh?
Yeah. You missed that.
I almost forgot we had music for that.
Yeah, you missed that, didn't you? That's what I thought. It's been a while. But yeah, let's hit some news. Let's talk about what's going on around here in this neck of the woods and out there beyond.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let's scroll on back here to let's do this one. Let's do the one where Spooky had posted, and you've seen it all posted up on viral. It's gone viral everywhere. The Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, that old
by the road. The old one. That one. That showed up pretty much again, which just goes to prove that it's
all cyclical.
It's all cyclical. No one can come up with even hoaxes. No one can come up with a really good hoax because it's all cyclical. Don't try to improve upon them because
Yeah, they really don't try to improve on it. They literally use the exact same photos that circulated on social media years ago and then just recycle them.
Yep. Oh, look what I found. This is new. No, it's really not. And then what they do, of course, is they say, they make up a little tagline. Oh, this was seen by my cousin or my brother or whatever. And we live here, and insert name here, insert your city there. And it just goes viral. Guys, don't share that crap. I'm just begging you, don't share that crap. It's not entertainment. I've seen the arguments. I've seen people sit there and say, oh, it's just entertainment. We're not hurting anyone. No, you really are. You really are hurting people. And what you're hurting is you're hurting their intelligence. You're hurting my intelligence anyway.
Yeah, it's but this is just the nature of all these paranormal Facebook groups, man. Like it's I think we've talked about it literally every year since we've started this show, about how in all of these groups, it's basically a rewash of all of the same photos, all of the same questions, about every 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, it really is. You're gonna see so much of that. So when you do see things like that, just question them. Do a little research on your own. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. That's I think it is anyway, especially if you're dealing with Bigfoot and his eyes are glowing. And someone has a picture of it. It's probably not real.
Are you talking about that one where Bigfoot's behind a palm tree or something that's been circulating?
Oh, that's the.
Oh no, that's another one.
That's the skunk ape. That's
down Florida,
in,
right?
Florida.
Yeah. No, this is the one where it's
actually. They found the dude's parents' house. And it is the exact same bush that's in front of his parents' house that was in the picture.
Well, this is the one that's by the road, Brandon, with the snow.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's just a 2D looking cutout kind of thing. Whether it be a physical 2D cutout or a digital, it doesn't matter.
It looks like a piece of plywood that someone cut into shape and just painted it.
Yeah, well, there was actually an investigator who's really good that took care of it years ago, and there's so many artifacts in that photo that it's not been tampered with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just nothing to worry about, really, honestly. And of course, the next bit of news shouldn't surprise anyone who tuned in to last week with our predictions and whatnot, or the last 2 years, I guess. But you guys remember Avi Loeb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
out there at the Galileo project, swept the ocean, found the interstellar meteoroid fragments or something, right?
Yeah.
He's a big proponent that there's aliens out there. He uses the word alien too. It's extraterrestrial, alien, whatever. He makes no qualms about that. But he did issue a very interesting statement in Newsbreak a day ago, actually. He says an alien invasion of Earth is possible. Okay? Not only does he say an alien invasion of Earth is possible, he says that it could possibly be good for humans.
Yeah. Yeah, he said that we could learn from these extraterrestrials whose intelligence would far exceed that of people.
So who's going to learn? The survivors? Or the slave race that the aliens create? I mean, what's he? I don't know what he's going for here. This is a little weird message.
Yeah, that's because our ancestors had such great stories of when that happened to them.
Yeah, I mean, this is a weird message, don't you think?
The term invasion.
Yeah.
It's never been a word that has been used with positive connotations.
Yeah, it's betterment. Who's betterment? Let's look at the native population of North America here for just a second and say who's better here. No one. That doesn't work that way. So when you have a highly advanced civilization, and by the way, how highly advanced does he say they are, Joe?
Well, he suggests that given that any alien species humans may encounter are likely to have higher intelligence, there could be an opportunity to do better or to better the human race by being exposed to their superior intellect. His assessment is that these creatures or entities or non-biologics, non-human intelligence, whatever, that there are tens of billions of planets in the Milky Way and that there's hundreds of billions of galaxies like the Milky Way, and that they're coming from far, far away. So to be able to make it here, their technology would be far superior.
He also says that he calls this space archaeology, and he's been clear about that. He said that before. Looking for technosignatures, archaeology in space, trying to figure out who preceded us. And when I say preceded, it's by billions of years, he says, not thousands of years, not like on Earth, he said.
Billions of years.
Billions of years. Billions of years. A very advanced civilization is a good approximation to God. Because just imagine a cave dweller visiting New York City and seeing all the gadgets and technology. Well, this sounds familiar.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. So I think, we're looking at some serious points for the ancient astronaut theory is what I'm saying.
And there's other folks who are out there taking equally large stabs that Abby is sharing. There's several astrophysicists and other scientists that basically are out there clamoring against Avi.
Oh yeah.
And one of them was even quoted in this article saying that people are sick of hearing about Avi Loeb's wild claims. And it's polluting good science and conflating the good science we do with this ridiculous sensationalism and sucking all the oxygen out of the room.
That was Steve Desch, astrophysicist, one of his peers, basically, going up against him and division, right? I mean, that's how this works. we said this before, one side pushes, another side pulls. It's back and forth. It's just back and forth.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely, in my opinion, ludicrous.
I mean, it was only a matter of time before Avi kept getting more and more attention after his claims with Oumuamua a few years back.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because it went kind of quiet there for a little bit, but then after he successfully recovered interstellar debris after being mocked and scoffed at, saying that he wasn't going to find anything, and then comes back with a whole lot,
which is just amazing.
And it's one of those things like, what do you believe? You know, you're going to have these folks who are in his community, just like in every community, who are scofftics. You know, they're not skeptics. They sit and they'll scoff in their chairs and clack on their keyboards, or, you know, talk to people on their microphones, and they'll just bash these people who are actually out there doing the work that they're claiming is going on, and backing up their claims with physical evidence. Yeah, in this case, Avi and his interstellar material.
Yeah. I mean, if Avi made that statement, and he did, it's based on data. It's not based on him wanting to believe something. And I think that's where we get into issues. We get these people who are they're just so tied up into what reality is that there can't be no other answer. It is my way.
The part of it too, like, I can understand where some of them, like Neil deGrasse Tyson and some of these other folks, are leery or terrified of what Avi is saying, is because it completely reduces their $100,000 paychecks.
It does.
To nothing. Yeah. Because it would rewrite everything we know about astrophysics if another civilization just shows up.
Not if.
Right. Yeah. But like, I'm saying,
this is a matter of time.
They're postulating the possibilities of interdimensionality. That's okay with a lot of these astrophysicists. Avi is very fixed on the extraterrestrial hypothesis, that they're from here. And anything that challenges that, a lot of these astrophysicists are like, absolutely not. We would know by now.
Yeah.
But now some of them are okay with some of the interdimensional theory, because that doesn't involve their purview of science, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I think if anything's smart enough to create interdimensional travel, that it could definitely have no issue with traveling through space, or time for that matter, possibly. So it opens a big, big can of worms, big can of wormholes. See what it did there.
Well, the next thing we've got setting up here is an apparent committee that's being formed.
Yeah.
And I do believe that we called this, that it would be the first or second week of January that we heard something coming from the government. And, you know, we didn't say exactly what we'd hear coming from the government.
We probably won't hear anything. This is going to be classified.
You probably won't, because this is an oversight committee that's being formed. And it is, the statement says, on Tuesday, January 9th, 2024, at 9 a.m. Eastern, the Committee on Oversight and Accountability will hold a classified member-only briefing with the Office of the Inspector General of the Intelligent Community regarding UAPs.
Yep. So what's this mean? Well, this means that they're going to get together and talk about a subject that, according to them, there's no need to talk about. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm getting, you know.
But, you know, we're going to talk about it. We're going to tell you that we're going to talk about it, but we can't tell you what we're talking about. Right. So instead of just dropping this whole thing, which is what they should do if they're not going to talk about it, just shut up and let it go. No, you keep it going. You keep it going for a reason. There's a reason you're doing this. Everyone needs to understand that, because if there wasn't, then it would just go away. Yet it's not going away. And by the way, it can't go away now. I mean, that's just a fact. There's too many people who are sitting on the sidelines now, ready to come out. I can't even imagine how many books are getting ready to be released this year alone. It's going to be maddening. Is what it's going to be.
It's going to be pretty interesting to see how this stuff starts to shake out real soon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, especially when you got people like Matt Gaetz, the Florida representative. He said that he's seen images now of objects that were not able to attach. He's not able to attach to any human capability, either from the United States or from any of our adversaries. He said that earlier this year. And when you got people, higher up there saying things like this, and then you've got what just happened to us when we got, the bill where, the Schumer amendment there. Well, yeah, I mean, they're acting like, oh, this is not important. How many people, when they were voting, how many of those voters knew what that actually was? Well, there's actually a poll that's been taken, it's been circulated around. Not that many. Most of them didn't have any idea what they were even voting on. Then they didn't care to know, to be honest.
Because it was a budget. It was attached to a budget bill.
Yeah, they didn't care. They didn't care. So there was only a few of them that were very aware of it. And then there were the others who were like, well, we can't vote on this because this is evil stuff. That's a real thing. They're unfortunately, that's the kind of crap that we have to put up with during this. And we shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to.
Elizondo warned about that when he first came out. He said there were powers in the Pentagon who associated that.
That's right. That's right. He did. Absolutely. And now you've got, Tucker Carlson coming out doing his thing. We've had several others who have said the same thing. Do you honestly think that that's by an accident? I don't think that's by accident.
Like that, and there's always going to be these political bents. You're gonna get it. They're gonna get people who use literally every topic for some sort of political gain. You can take it to the bank right now that if there was ever a Bigfoot hit by a semi, that somehow, somewhere, it would become a political talking spot.
Probably would.
Yeah. And so it's no shock, and it's not shocking, honestly, on the people who are talking with what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not surprised to hear them say that this is some sort of hyper religious kind of thing or spiritual in text. I'm not shocked. And especially once they say that, I'm not shocked on what direction they're leaning in the spiritual guidance section. That these things are going to be some sort of evil entity that is out for our destruction. Not surprising.
Yeah. I mean, because they're just a bag of positivity as it is.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's the thing that we have to remember. There's these people who are just absolutely adamant that, there's this secret side of society that wants us all, I guess, to be in fear and whatnot. And, in a way, they're right. They're very much right about that because, you
can control scared people.
Yes, you can control scared people. That's exactly right. What you just said. And that's pretty much where we'll agree to agree, and then we'll just disagree from that point on because the rest of the stuff is just ludicrous. But that is absolutely true. I think that we are definitely we're being manipulated, and we don't need demons or aliens to manipulate us. Let's just be real here. We're being manipulated by those who want to pretty much stay in power. Again, not demons. Not aliens, just your good old, political system that's always been there.
The intelligence community.
Yep, that's them. Because and
people, it's what goes beyond your normal politician.
Yeah, they don't change. You see, that's the thing. You get to vote on presidents. You get to vote on, your senators, but you don't vote on these people.
No,
we have no say in those people.
The people in the intelligence community are sitting on boards of mega companies and defense contractors, and it's been the same people for decades.
Yep. So when I know Grush is like all hell bent on let's vote them out, blah blah blah. They didn't support this bill. Why? It's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's not their fault, because even if they voted, it wouldn't matter, because you have to look at it like this. They're doing a job. We've seen this. We saw this firsthand with the reptile community.
We did.
Okay. We saw how this works. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We saw that in action. And if people don't know how that works, it's really a fascinating thing. It honestly is. Because what it comes down to is you have a bunch of people who have no clue what they're voting on.
No clue.
No
Absolutely
clue.
No clue
whatsoever.
You'll have 2 or 3 that actually have that wrote or co-authored, and you'll have a couple sponsors, and those are the folks who are vested in that interest. Nobody else gives a rip. Nobody else knows. It becomes a party line thing, and it's just a mess.
It becomes
a mess.
Okay, so I'll vote on this because I don't really care one way or the other. What are you going to give me?
I'll vote on this because my buddy was a co-author, and I need him to vote on my bill that I authored.
That's what it is.
So it's quid pro quo.
That's exactly what it is, and that's how this stuff works. So,
I was point blank told by one of our representatives, well, I don't want to vote against this bill because I want him to vote with me whenever it comes time, and he's the majority leader. And then the Senate majority leader called me a liar on TV. It was great.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. Well, I mean, I personally was in an elevator with one of the head sponsors, and who was basically like, well, because we were running anti-campaigns at the time.
We were running them on Facebook.
We were running anti-campaigns at the time, and they thought, well, I got him to drop this, so what are you going to do for me? They wanted us to call off our protests, basically. And like, you've got to be kidding me. This is how it worked. And that was an eye opener for me. I got to see how that worked. And I'm like, okay, I see how this works, But that all thankfully ended we ended okay. It ended better than it would have. Yeah, it ended better than it could have. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of thing that you see that's going on. So when they tell you to, step up and actually be counted, do it. You never know. You might actually change
very
something.
many people that actually do it.
Nope, exactly. And you'd be surprised when you get enough people who actually do it.
Yeah.
You don't have to storm Area 51 to make it happen. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
You don't. No, it's not
That's
one of those
stupid.
Things. You can
That's
just pick
stupid.
up the phone.
Yeah, literally. That's all it takes. Just pick up a phone and be like, hey, you need to look into this, Senator, blah, blah, blah. Your representative. That's all you got to do. And you talk nice and you talk polite. How many times do we have to really stress that?
Oh, every time.
Back in that day.
Literally every time.
Yeah. Don't call them and start yelling at them. They don't even know what you're talking about. You sound like something crazy. They're not going to listen to you. They're just going to hang up. But if you present them with actual data, they'll listen to you. And that's kind of how this works. But, if you want to change the world, you really got to do it the right way. You can't go out there and just start screaming and waving protest banners. It don't work that way.
Nope. Sure, it gets cameras on you, but
it gets cameras on you. But
doesn't accomplish anything at the end of the day, most likely.
No, I mean, let's be real. Let's think about that whole storming Area 51 thing that happened. Let's just for a second. Let's go back in time. Cue the TARDIS sound.
The good old days.
Yeah. So here's what we have, right? We had these people who, we had this one person basically who come up with this little idea, and it went a little too far.
Yeah, because originally, if anybody who remembers, it was just supposed to be like a music festival.
Yeah, it went too far.
He tried to promote a music festival by saying, let's storm the gates of Area 51. And then it went viral.
Yeah. And they did. They ended up doing just that. And they didn't get very far, of course. No. I mean, they wouldn't actually go to the gate. They got to the gate, and thankfully, the guys
turned into pink mist.
Yeah, thankfully those guys had a sense of humor out there, and they were just like, don't come across the gate. You come across the gate, we're going to arrest you. And thankfully that's as far as it went. I think a couple of them did get arrested, but I don't remember that for sure. But I think that may have happened.
Well, if I remember correctly, one or two of them did get arrested because they tried to steal the sign off the gate.
That's just stupid. And if that happened, then
I'm fairly certain it was what they got arrested for was destruction of property.
That would be destruction of property. So that makes sense if that happened. Yeah. So, that's the kind of thing you don't want to do. There's other ways to do this stuff. And, that's just a little word of advice in case we get to the point where we do have the opinion or the ability to voice our opinion. Because usually it doesn't matter. They don't want to hear your opinion.
I thought that was interesting because it was like one of the first times where you could actually witness something like that on live stream.
Oh, yeah.
That was like not long after live stream really started opening up.
That's right.
Yeah. Everybody remembers the Naruto run.
Yeah, they do.
Sadly, everyone remembers the Naruto run.
Rowan does it occasionally down the hallway. It's hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
one of the boys does that. I don't even know how he learned how to do that.
It's human nature. If you run, you do that. If you're running really
Yeah,
fast.
you're just,
Yeah, you do. You really do. And I think it's probably because we used to be able to fly.
So, how's that on the news? I think we covered it all
I
there.
don't know. Did we? Is there anything else? There's one more thing I want to cover.
Okay.
Let's cover.
Oh yeah.
Let's cover the cereal debacle real quick. Let's cover that really, really, really quick. Okay. So where was this at, Joe? What was the time frame and whatnot on this?
1 second. Now we'll grab that for you.
Yeah, pop that up. I want to see what where this was at. I think it was in Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly.
It was in PA. Yeah, I know it was in PA. I'm trying to grab the actual article though. It ran in our local news.
Yeah, ran in our local news, and essentially what it comes down to is a guy found a note, a disturbing note, in his cereal box. I kid you not, and it had to be put in at the factory, and
because it was in a sealed box.
It was in a sealed box cereal. Yeah. So he said
it happened in Sugarloaf Township in Pennsylvania.
There you go. Sugarloaf, Pennsylvania. He poured it out in his bowl and the paper came out and he just flips out apparently. And his quote, he was devastated. Absolutely devastated. I mean, I didn't even want to eat the cereal, although I still have the box here, he said. Probably not going to eat it though. I don't know what's inside the cereal or if this note is laced with anything. Okay, so first of all, it's they don't even talk about it in the article.
No, they don't. They don't address the words.
This is one of those clickbait type articles, basically. Yeah. They don't even address the words. So I found the words. I found the list of this. It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. It's not some code. It's not some dire warning. It's just a list of hashtags of every popular conspiracy theory term that you could possibly imagine. The only one I didn't see on it was HARP. You had UAPs, you had, the New World Order kind of crap. That's what it was. It was all that.
I mean, that's what happens. You get into a bag of Lucky Charms, and I'm fairly certain that was the cereal. It was
Lucky Charms. Yes,
based off the box, it looks like Lucky Charms because you see the hand.
Yes,
and I recognize Lucky's hand.
I believe that's what he said. Yes.
So if you got Lucky Charms, then this box would basically be the antithesis of that.
Yeah,
this would be foreboding. What's the opposite of charm? Foreboding junk.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and they said that, again, in the article, there's no proof of it. I didn't see anywhere that other notes have been found. Okay, here we go with this. Come on, guys. This is how viral crap starts. If it happened, show it. If it didn't, shut up. That's just that simple. I know I'm not being very nice in 2024, am I, so far? But you know what? I'm really
too much time around me, Ron.
No, man, I'm fed up with the absolute nonsense that's taken place and everyone who's fallen for it.
Yeah.
And I really do think that there has to be some voice of reason out there at some point. And if that has to be us, then, man, I don't want it to be, but
it always has been, though.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we are the ones that came up with the terminology of we are going to beat the squatch out of it.
That is true. Yeah, we have beat the squatch out of it. So, yeah, well, beating the squatch out of this, if you do find something like that, feel free to call the FBI like this guy did, because apparently it's a matter of national security when you find a note. If it were, say, a ransom note, I could understand that.
Right.
I don't really see any concern here other than it's someone is a conspiracy theorist who works in a factory who has probably already lost their job by now.
Oh yeah, because it's easy to find out who.
This is just too easy. Yeah.
Who did this?
Yeah, this is too easy. It's not some, subliminal message from the secret government. It's some disturbed individual who's working in a factory. That's what it is.
They say what the note said.
Yeah, but not there. Like I said, it was on another thing. I'm not going to even address what the note said. I'm not going to do that either, because I don't want to fuel any fires of any more conspiracy theorists. I'm just saying. if you can think of anything, literally, they didn't even say this. I'll tell you that much. If you can think of any conspiracy theory, it was on there. Like, yeah, we're not going there. We're just not going
Just
there.
basically anything that was out there.
Anything
over
to
the
get
last
you
few decades.
hashtag. Anything to get a hashtag. That's what it
Yep.
was. So anyway, I think that's the news. We're going to wrap it here. Hopefully we'll have some better news for you next week, and I won't be as angry. Maybe. I don't know. Could happen.
All right, guys. So new year, new you. What do you guys have on your plate coming up here in the first little half of the new year?
I don't know. I'm really, I've got so many things coming up on my little plate that I can't talk about, and that always disturbs me because everything that we do, we can't talk about.
I know, right?
But we can talk about, the one thing that happened there in Point Pleasant. They announced,
we can. That's right. That's finally out. The cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag on that. They're finally opening up the Blacklight mini golf, and boy, does that look amazing.
They are. It's going to be really, really cool. I actually got the grand tour 2 days ago, and I got to walk through it with all the lights on. It was wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Seeing all the stuff. The only thing that we didn't do is just fire up the air pumps for the animatronics, but they're amazing. They look fantastic. Everything looks phenomenal.
I hear we're going to actually be able to do a live from there at some point.
Yeah. I think the grand opening.
The grand opening. Is that what it is?
Yep. We're going to go up there and do a live premiere for a grand opening for them.
Mm-hmm. That'll be fun. Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
Like 4 weeks.
Is that okay? Yeah, that's going to be really fun.
Yeah, it's February 1st or the first
and
week.
And a miracle occurred. A Christmas miracle occurred.
A Christmas miracle did occur. So for those of you guys who have been following Wild and Weird West Virginia forever, back in 2019, Ron and I started a project that we dubbed Project Go Fast. Well, Project Go Fast went really freaking slow for the name. I think we cursed it by the name. And it originally started off as a UFO that was just with, your typical sport model kind of UFO, the disc. And it was going to have some lights and sounds and things of that nature. And, it was going to be cool.
How big was this UFO, Joe?
What is it?
How big was this UFO?
It is 54 inches in diameter.
Yep.
So this is a pretty large sculpt. Well, we started this in late 2019, and then the pandemic happens.
Yep.
And now we didn't quit getting together and working on it because of the pandemic. We quit getting together and working on it because we couldn't get materials because of the pandemic.
Yep.
It took forever. So there was like about 2 or 3 months where some of the materials that we needed to finish it up were stuck in
what was longer than
ships. And no, I'm just talking about the foam that was stuck on ships.
Oh, yeah.
That took about 3 months. And then there was some other stuff that took time. Well, this was basically a dead in the water project that I thought was just never going to get out of my garage until this past year at the Mothman Festival. Jeff comes up, tells us his new hidden agenda for the next big attraction for Point Pleasant. And he said, "Do you still have that UFO?" And I was like, "Do I still have the UFO? You mean, is it still hanging from my ceiling? Because the flight test is as far as it got, and it stayed in the flight test mode."
Which was impressive.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this thing hung in the garage for 2 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
So the hanging rig, dead on.
Yeah.
And then Jeff told me about that, and when I was like, all right, yeah, well, so I kept going in the same mode that I was in to finish it. I was going to paint the thing silver. It was going to be real metallic. But then a few days before we actually went to deliver it, Ron was sent some sample imagery from the golf course. And Ron's like, "I think it needs to be black light now." And I'm like, okay, I'll give this a shot. So I went and bought a gallon of matte black light paint. So that way it absorbs, like the black will just absorb your light. And then I bought a ton of blacklight reactive paint and got this thing. It's pretty intense, and the lights work in it. Jeff is installing it sometime this week, and you're going to be able to go see this giant UFO that we've worked on for years. And yeah, it's cool. And the golf course, I can't wait to go up there and play the golf course. It
Yeah.
actually looks pretty. Some of the courses are pretty challenging looking,
Oh yeah.
and I can't wait to go up there and play around myself.
Yeah, it's not a kid's course. It's a real mini golf course, and
Yep.
you know, mini golf is a real sport, guys. So, you know, some of that stuff it's extremely hard.
Yeah.
I used to go. I mean, we do every time we go down to the beach. We always hit a mini golf, and man, I always wanted one. That's the funny thing, and we talked about that years ago. It's like that was one of the things I'd love to have here in West Virginia would be to open up a mini golf course. I am so glad that I don't have to do that. And now I can just go to Jeff and be like, Jeff, thank you. Thank
Exactly.
you for letting me have this, you know, this thing that, and I'll pay you for my dream. That's awesome. And he did it way better, to be honest, because some of the animatronics and whatnot in there are just spectacular.
Oh man,
Spectacular.
the
Love it.
Mothman
The art.
creatures were designed are movie quality.
The art is beautiful.
Yep.
It is very, if you guys have any of the, you know, if you're out on the road, you catch us. I do a lot of blacklight art. It's going to be very reminiscent of some of that art. And it's really cool. It's what it is.
Yeah,
So,
it's going to be exciting to see people up there playing, and I'm excited to just see the UFO hanging in place where it's supposed to be when it's done.
yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. And then we're off to project number 2, which is also top secret, and project number 3, which is also above top secret. So again, can't
Yeah.
really talk about a whole lot of things.
Yeah, we're
about what's
tied
going
up.
on.
Like there's some stuff that's like, man, I wish we could talk about it. I
Yeah,
wish
but
we
we
could tell
can't.
people. But
Just keep watching. It's just like every other
hang
year
in
when we
there.
say this. Every year we tell you the same thing because we usually can't talk about it. And about 5-6 months in, you're like, oh yeah, that's what they were talking about, you know.
Yeah.
And then it all makes perfect sense. So, but if you go back and you watch this one looking for clues, you won't find any. It's that top secret. So,
Yep.
um,
I
what?
mean, look, how long's it been since that UFO seen the light of day, and it finally got delivered, and we didn't.
Oh my
I didn't make a
gosh.
fuss about it going up there. Nothing.
No,
I just
no,
sent it, and
no.
took a look, and then he announced that it's opening soon, and no way to
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah, exactly. So on top of that, I can tell you this: there's going to be a lot of investigations this year. We've
Oh
got a
yeah,
lot of people who are sending in, you know, their accounts and whatnot, and we're going to get out there and document those. So hopefully you'll get to see those in some way, shape, or form. We don't know how yet, but hopefully that'll happen. And man, there's some crazy ones,
there really are some really, really, really high strangeness cases.
really high strangeness cases, and we're going to have some new tools to address those situations here. Actually, we have those tools right now.
We have those tools, and they work. Holy cow, are they
Yes.
fun? I can't talk
Yeah.
about those either.
Yeah.
But
And
when you're at the workshop, you will get to see them and play with
you
them.
will be the first. If you're at the workshop, you'll be the first to see those tools in action. And man, is it this workshop? I promise you, you don't want to miss this. This is going to be the workshop. This is the mother of all workshops. I'm not even going to joke about. Am I joking about that?
No, you're not. This is
I'm not exaggerating at
who's been
this.
to the Bigfoot workshops and really enjoyed themselves.
This
Those
blows them out of the water, though.
in comparison to what you're going to experience here.
Yeah. This one's going to blow them out of the
It's
water.
a Bigfoot workshop, so don't worry. We're still going to host a Bigfoot workshop.
Yeah, that'll happen too. But
Yeah.
but this one at Point Pleasant is just going to be something that you are going to. It's going to be one of those things that if you're not there, you are going to kick yourself. That's
And we
literally.
we will be able to announce the dates for that in about 2 episodes.
Okay. So what's going to happen is we're going to make about a 48-hour announcement, something like that prior, and tell you when it's going to go on sale, because only like 35 tickets or something is going to be sold. That's it.
Yeah.
These are not expensive tickets. These are not $100 tickets. They
Nope.
should be. They should be for what you're going to get.
For everything we got and we're doing. Yeah, because there's some really cool stuff that's going to be able to happen at this one.
Yeah. You're just not even going to believe it.
And there's
So,
food. Food will
oh
be
yeah.
involved.
Yeah, food will be involved. Food's always involved. That's part of the experience. And then we're going to, get out there and we're going to do some stuff. We're going to show you some equipment. We'll do a couple of experiments and whatnot, and teach you basically kind of a paranormal type investigation 101 kind of deal. That's been used before, but
And
that's what
we're going to be doing some UFO workshop stuff over there.
we're definitely going to be doing some UFO workshop kind of stuff. And who knows? Maybe Greer will show up. I don't know. He's not. He's not.
Carlson will show up.
So,
Luis Elizondo was in town.
Yeah, right. He was in town. We'll use that to help promote it. In a town where Luis Elizondo once took a picture with the shiny hiney.
Now you can experience. No, I'm kidding.
So, Brandon, what can people be looking forward to coming out of your end of the spectrum here?
Oh God, I've got so much stuff in the works.
I know. That's why I'm curious to hear some of it myself.
Books?
Yeah, I have like 3 or 4 with the press right now that I'm working on for the young adult section. That's
Awesome.
coming out this year. That's just the first few months.
And those books are all about how to harvest adrenochrome, right?
Right.
I said those books are all about how to harvest adrenochrome, right?
Yeah. It's a series, Joe. You have to buy the whole series.
Yeah. So, what? Anything else?
Well, I also started the photo restoration service.
Oh
Something I've been
yeah. Tell
toying
everybody about that and what exactly that is, because if they're not friends with you on Facebook, they don't see it. And you're doing some really neat stuff.
Yeah, I'm just taking some old pictures and trying to repair and enhance them in Photoshop, and then add color to them when I can, if they're
It's
good
fun.
enough quality.
It's a whole lot easier now than it used to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do that like 5 years ago for a photo that we were restoring, and the painstaking amount you just can't even imagine. And now it's like so easy. Like
Yeah, because the program kind of works for you.
Kinda. You still got to do some stuff,
Yeah,
but
you still got to work it, but it knows, it's intuitive enough now to where you don't have to go pixel by pixel.
No, now you can just like paint it, and if you don't like that color, you can just erase it and try another color.
Yep. So that's really cool. You're also going to be involved in some other stuff, I believe, as far as the whole Wild and Weird empire goes, later on this year as well, from what I understand. Because we are going to be working on a publication at some point this year. And yeah, I just said that, and it's okay to talk about that because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we can drop a teaser of some sort.
Yeah.
Yep. We can start, what you just heard, folks, is there is a book in the works about, well, all things wild and weird.
Oh yeah. All things wild and weird. Right. So
Maybe even a whole series.
didn't say that. Didn't say that.
We can't talk about a series. We can't talk about a series.
Nope. Didn't say that. Did not say that.
But guys, it will be hopefully coming this year. We're working on it. We've been working on it slowly, but things are going to be able to pick up a little more. Hopefully we're able to crank it out and get it released in 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. That should be a thing that happens. Not to be confused with my book. No, it's not that book. So back down. Just settle people, settle. That'll happen whenever. We're going to be busy.
Yeah.
So, I saw today that Angie had got a hold of me and said that they are going to be firing up the paranormal discussion group again this year.
Awesome.
Yes. So be looking for that. That's awesome. The St. Owens Paranormal Discussion Group is just an amazing thing. It's free. They try to contact several, researchers in the area, have them come in, get a little talk here and there. You were there. You went down and did the Bigfoot thing.
I did the Bigfoot one and then showed up to the ghost hunt at the museum.
That's right. So we're going to be doing some stuff like that with them again this year. That'll be a whole lot of fun. Hopefully Brandon can be there this time.
Oh yeah, Brandon was at the Bigfoot one I did.
Okay, good. You missed mine. So whatever, Brandon. Whatever. Anyway, No, it's going to be a really busy year though. And on top of all that, we got to keep up with the news because it's going to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, guys, if you've followed the podcast, I know that it got towards from June forward. Obviously, the podcast was really news heavy, and we understand what that meant, and we were having to keep up with everything. And we tried to present it in a way that was palatable. We were injecting humor, and we still will. But we're going to also kind of go back to the roots with Wild and Weird Radio and give you guys more scripted out content on the scheduled show and keep the news heavy stuff more into the lives.
Might as well. I mean, the lives seem to be more, right there because literally when we do the news over here and we talk about it in depth, there's been times when that news has changed literally the day after we record it. Yeah, exactly. And then it's redacted. That's just
days. Normally we only record 4 to 5 days before release.
Yeah, that's right.
And the news will change.
Yeah.
or what we predict in the news will actually happen the day before.
Right, exactly. So it does you no good when we say they're landing tomorrow. That doesn't mean anything because that means by the time you hear it on Friday, that was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's over. So didn't work. But Thursdays are live, and that's when we'll be doing more news heavy stuff and some of the investigation kind of stuff. So that being said, topics for 2024, guys. What do the good people out there in Wild and Weird Radio Land, our wild and weird weirdos and weirdettes, have to look for?
Well, one of the early shows for sure will be the Nephilim show. We're gonna do the full blown Nephilim show. You got a little taste of it with Reverend Carter, and we're gonna go and do a deep dive on the Nephilim and cryptid lack thereof connection.
Yeah, we've got sometime in the middle of this month where we're going to have a special guest on, and we're going to be doing some time travel and how that may relate to UAP activity, paranormal activity, et cetera, et cetera. That's going to be a really heavy, fun episode. We've got Stan coming back at some point.
Yep.
He's going to be talking about some stuff that's going on. And aside from that, I think we're going to be this year. We're going to retouch some of those old episodes.
Yeah.
The old episodes. The ones that were literally radio only, the audio only ones. So we're going to be doing some video on that. So you can look forward to things back in those days. I know we did some really good ones on, what did we do? We did some out of body experience stuff on one of them. So we'll touch that subject again. We'll touch some more stuff on metaphysics, of course, and the working theories thereof. And you can, of course, there'll be UAP episodes, UFOs, UAPs, paranormal stuff. That's a given. And you'll also get some, some rundowns on some live investigations and whatnot that have been taking place. So it's going to be a very fun one. If you have any ideas of anything that you would like to see us tackle, then reach out. Let us know. And we'll definitely put that down on the list and go from there.
And for those of you guys who might be new to Wild and Weird Radio and you haven't gone back and listened to all of the backlog, well, you should, first of all. But, we're going to be touching on episodes in video format like Flatwoods Monster, the Shadow Beings, which we did a brief touch on that, but I really want to dive deep back into Shadow Beings again because there's been a lot more people coming forward with their stories.
Oh, yeah.
Then there was a really, really intriguing episode that we did back in episode 15, and it was called Alien Species, where we dove into all of these alleged species of extraterrestrials or extra-dimensional beings that existed out there that we were possibly aware of. And that would be a really fun episode.
We may be able to get one to come on. Episode. So we could actually get one to come on, possibly, Joe.
It's possible.
I have one right here.
By the middle of the year, I have a feeling we may be able to get one to come on the show. So,
And another one would be Hopkinsville Goblins.
Yeah.
That was a great one. Lake Monsters was another good one. The Legend of the Chupacabra. And And probably the one that we will have to break out the obelisk for at the end of the night is clones, cults, and UFOs.
Oh no. No. I think we'll probably just do just UFO cults. I think that would probably be the best thing to do.
I think I smell cigar smoke.
We're not going to talk about clones.
Right.
We will not talk about clones during that. I don't think I want to talk about clones during that.
You're not ready for a visitation, Ron?
No, I don't think so.
Oh man!
Oh,
guys,
hey, speaking of UFO cults,
and bringing them back, breathing some new life into them, giving you guys some fresh perspectives, even some perspectives that may have changed of our own since then over the last 3 years, based off of the data and the work that we performed. Then you guys, like Ron said, if you have any ideas, if you have any suggestions, get a hold of us. Let us know. There is a working email that we stay on top of all the time. It is wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. You can send in any kind of show hints or wants or desires for show titles and topics.
Post them in the comments.
Yeah, post them in the comments below. We check those too.
We get notifications immediately of that. I get more notifications of that than I do an email. So post them in the comments.
Speaking of that, like, share, and subscribe, everybody.
So
And
speaking
if you're
of
listening to
UFO
us on audio,
cults,
go to like Apple and rate and review us.
What'd you say there, Brandon?
so speaking of UFO cults, I was reading something.
You starting one?
A few days ago.
Brandon's starting a UFO cult, everybody.
Well,
Listen up.
UFO cults, Brandon.
Listen up. Reverend High Poobah Brandon is speaking. Everyone.
So apparently, if you guys have ever drank Sleepy Time tea, you've apparently been contributing to a UFO
Yes.
cult.
What now?
Yes. Sleepy Time Tea, the brand, the tea company.
Okay, let's hear it.
Tell them about it, Brandon. This is
Okay, so if you look at the box, I've noticed this for years, but I never really thought anything of it. But it says it's made by the Celestial Tea Company.
Yeah.
And it turns out that they're actually a UFO cult, and that's how they fund their cult, is by making these really good teas.
I love it. Are you serious?
The Celestial Tea brand.
This is great.
But like their number one seller is Sleepy Time Tea.
Yeah, I know it's Sleepy Time tea. It doesn't make you sleepy at all. It's a lie. It's a total lie. I drink it. It doesn't make me sleepy. It makes me wired. I don't know.
They do have a really good sinus tea, though, if you ever got really bad, like, sinus congestion.
So they're trying to put people to sleep so the aliens can come and take them away.
You're on to something.
I know.
We need to write that down on a piece of paper and stick it.
They're demons. Everyone knows. It's demonic tea. Don't drink it. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, the Celestial Tea is started by UFO cult. Brandon.
That's amazing. I did not know that. So what are their beliefs, Brandon? Are they like nut jobs, or are they just a harmless kind of space brother kind of thing?
Well,
they're pretty harmless. Let me see.
Oh,
they're a few steps down from matching jumpsuits and Kool-Aid.
Oh boy, this is good. Let me hear some more. See, we all get to learn together, folks.
Colorado.
Right. Well, they usually are. Colorado. Don't know why.
Big sky country, man.
I guess. I love you, Colorado.
That's where all the good UFOs are.
Yeah, I agree with that. Brandon's looking stuff up right now, folks. That's why.
Now I need to go look into the UFO beer company. I'm just curious now.
So in 2006, their gross sales were $100 million.
People like tea, man.
Oh yeah.
I like tea. I mean, I don't care if, a UFO cult's making it. If it's good tea, I'm drinking it.
Good tea. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, unless they're like doing some weird crap, I'm going to say just keep drinking that tea. What are they doing?
Yeah, I saw that story started buzzing back around recently because there is a data analyst who has his Homeland Security degree who's on Instagram, and he made a video about it, and it was hilarious the way he puts all this stuff together. But yeah, they were a UFO cult. Now I think somebody else owns the company. They've sold the company, or they've sold or the leadership of the company is different now, something like that.
Got you.
But yeah, they were a UFO cult when they first.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it says they were started by a guy named Mo Siegel, and a guy named John Hay, and they were both believers in a New Age Bible called the Urantia Book, which calls an epochal revelation authorized solely by celestial beings.
That doesn't
Book
sound so
touches on
bad.
everything from mind control to eugenics to eliminate.
Well, the eugenics is where it gets a little sketchy.
That's a little sketchy, but you know,
mind control. Well, CIA does that.
Come
eugenics,
on,
questionable.
That's questionable. That's very questionable. Yeah, probably. So basically, it's just an ordinary company.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't stop drinking your tea, folks. Keep drinking your celestial tea. Support our space brothers because, you know, the people down here on Earth, they need all the help they can get. It's just that simple.
How does the Men in Black refer to the dirtlings, right?
Yeah, the dirtlings need all the help they can get. That's right.
And if that's lost on some of you guys, you definitely check out the live episodes. We are constantly visited by the Men in Black on the live, and it's one of the best conversation pieces out there.
Well, Agent John Stone has always been a supporter of the show. Always.
Well, guys, what do we got? Anything left? Anything else? Anything new?
No, not really. No, I think that's pretty much it. I think we've covered everything we're going to be able to cover on this one. And, you know, I'm moving on to the next one. And I believe the live in 2 days. So
yeah, catch the live in 2 days.
Well, you know, not 2 days.
Time
reverse. Yeah, exactly. So it would actually be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Catch the live yesterday.
6 days.
8 p.m.
6 days. No, catch the live in 6 days.
Oh, yeah. Catch the live in 6 days. Next Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next Thursday. 6 days. Be here. 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Also,
for the live.
Check out the UFO cult episode that we just accidentally
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, guys, any New Year's resolutions you want to share before we wrap this episode up?
Man, resolutions, I swear. Where to start? Let's see. I resolve to be supreme ruler of Earth in 2020. Oops, sorry. Never mind. You go ahead. I'm out.
Brandon, anything?
Thinking out loud.
I just made a resolution to myself to try to write more stuff this year. So a lot more short stories, trying to get my book finished, trying to get our project finished.
I just saw this image in my head when you said to write more stuff of like the Simpsons intro. And you know where Bart Simpson's writing a word on repeat? I will not do. I feel like that. I saw that in my head. Just stuff.
I think we should all resolve to just, you know, chill out and have some fun. That's what I think we should do.
Yeah.
Regardless of what we're doing, just we got to have some fun.
Have some fun.
Yep.
My resolution is to keep going in the direction we're going and have fun.
Literally.
Shed off some of the stress and have fun.
Yep. It really is. It's just like, you know, jump out of that airplane. Maybe you brought the parachute. I don't know. I mean, worry about it after.
Yeah. The joy of the joy of going parajumping is the jump, not
free fall, man. Free fall. You might land. You could bounce around, still survive. Who knows? Don't jump out of a plane without a parachute, folks. That's your disclaimer, because there are idiots out there who'd be like, well, I heard that on weird radio. They told me you could jump off an airplane. No, you can't. You can't fly.
Or can you?
Not yet.
So, guys, it's welcome back to 2024 Wild and Weird Radio. We're going to keep this ball rolling for eons and eons to come. We've got more content coming and more formats and more viewable consumables heading your way. We've got stuff that's going to be mind-blowing that's going to be released. We've got stuff that is going to be revolutionary that you're going to be able to be a part of. We have big things on the horizon, and it's going to be a blast.
Space Brothers.
So, if you would like to get on board the Wild and Weird train and take this journey with us, you can always just come and hang out with us on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, live. Get to chat with us. We can talk. We'll bring you on the show. It is literally driven by the viewers on Thursday.
Oh, yeah,
if you want to get a hold of us in any other way, or if you want us to come speak at an event or anything of that nature, reach out. touch base. We're easy to get a hold of.
Do that fast though, because that's starting to fill up.
It's starting to fill up. It is. Our speaking engagement list has already been getting booked up. So if you've got an event that you want to have us at, definitely reach out, let us know, so that way we can get you penciled in. Then if you want to catch us on the road, the very first appearance that we are going to be making is going to be May 4th at the Ohio Bigfoot Conference. And that'll be the first chance for you guys to catch us at a conference on the road. Come hang out with us. It's going to be an absolute blast. It's always a fun
It's
show.
on Star Wars Day.
It is Star Wars Day. And this isn't the first time that it's been on Star Wars Day, but the days that it's on Star Wars Day is always the best. Yep. So guys, if you've had a sighting report that you would like to send in, remember, head over to wildandweirdwv.com. Click the Report of Sightings tab. You can submit your sighting there. If you want to support Wild and Weird Radio and keep it free for eons and eons to come, there's multiple ways to do that now. You can head over to our shop and pick up a t-shirt. You can also go and join one of the lives and become a super chatter, where we will add your name to the list that's ever growing of donors who are keeping it free. Then, if you've had anything that you would like to suggest, wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. Anything,
except for putting notes in cereal. We won't do that.
We won't. Well, maybe.
No, I
Our
won't do
notes
that.
will be at least encouraging.
No, they won't. They'll be in words that you can't even possibly understand. There you go.
So, guys, until 6 days from now, stay wild and weird, everybody.